Good morning and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is really my pleasure to welcome you here on behalf of NCCU and share my views of the debatable issue, global university rankings today. It is evident that all the current popular global ranking systems have common methodological limitations and created serious problems, even though these rankings have been influencing us for a long time. In 2005, I published an article titled SSCI and TSSCI Drive Taiwan Crazy, an academic cultural revolution, in which I point out the problems and illusions created by global rankings. Up to the present day, these problems still exist and continue to distract academics. Therefore, I would like to address some issues about global rankings. Fundamentally, global rankings are of a simplistic nature. They increase the unbalanced campus culture that emphasizes research over teaching. They often measure a reduced part of a university's multiple functions due to overemphasis on indexed publications and reputation surveys. Currently, none of these global rankings can even fully capture the basics of university activity, namely learning and teaching quality. Therefore, I would like to take this opportunity to share my observations on global rankings. First, when we examine ranking indicators, on the one hand, we find that they are very arbitrary. We do not know how they were developed. On the other hand, the indicators overemphasize the quantity of journal papers and the number of citations per faculty. What concerns me most is that these databases they use, such as Scopus and SESI, mainly collected the journals published in English with only a very small portion of non-English journals included. We rarely see these databases include journals published in such important languages as French, German, Japanese, and Chinese. To a certain extent, these global rankings benefit the institutions with medical schools and engineering departments of the hard sciences. For example, the Shanghai ranking measures universities with one special criterion, number of papers published in Nature and Science, which inevitably excluded the institutions with humanities discipline and social science departments. It is really unfair for the institutions without natural science programs and research centers around the world. Moreover, such universities' efforts in nurturing talents who contribute greatly to the society, economy, culture, freedom, and human rights are overlooked. Second, if research productivity is to be regarded as one of the significant standards in measuring research-oriented universities, diversity among the nations and higher education systems should be also taken into consideration. For example, in the US and the UK, research is being mainly carried out by universities. In contrast, the major responsibilities of research lie in particular research institutes in Germany and in Taiwan, such as Max Planck Gesellschaft in Germany and Academia Sinica in Taiwan. In addition, different types of publications such as monographs, books, and policy reports by government courts and companies should be also equally weighted. Third, I would also like to argue that some global ranking systems such as QS and THE adapt peer survey and employer survey as the measures with a high percentage of weighting. However, they are not quite reliable data. If the respondents from academic and industrial institutions have never been to the universities, how can they fairly judge a large number of institutions? Do they really understand the current status and achievements of the institutions they are requested to rate? Moreover, respondents are often not selected in a reliable and transparent way. As a result, the so-called global rankings turn out like a popularity rating, which distorts the core value of an educational institution. Fourth, massification and internationalization of higher education has produced a diversified and complex academic environment, which has led global rankings to become a big business. Some universities seek to gain advantage from consultancy service provided by global rankers. On the one hand, they would like to have a firmer command of the ranking process. On the other hand, they hope to improve their overall scores in the rankings. In so doing, human errors and malpractice are sometimes inevitable. Based on the above analysis, I argue that global rankings have brought about unintended impacts on higher education system and universities. It is time for us to rethink how global rankings can measure the right things and enhance university quality in teaching, learning, and the third mission. First of all, I propose that the surveys of a university ranking should engage a wider spectrum of higher education stakeholders, including local students, international students, representative organizations, overseas networks, and other stakeholders of the like. Secondly, global ranking indicators should be more comprehensive in order to showcase the features and uniqueness of an individual institution. That is to say, all sorts of rankings should take historical and geographical context into thorough consideration. Thirdly, I strongly recommend that an ideal global ranking should pay more attention to community engagement. If a university contributes to cultivating talents who benefit the well-being of its local community and society, it should be regarded as a great university and be given full credit. All in all, the current global rankings do not accurately reflect each university's academic performance and devotion to the society. They have become a zero-sum game for higher education in the world. We hope that global rankings in the future should assist universities to recognize the value of diversity in an era of uncertainty. Finally, we have to take joint action together with UNESCO if needed, as it has paid greater attention to rankings and accountability in higher education since 2005. If possible, UNESCO should advise all governments to avoid allocating budgets on rankings. Likewise, universities in the world should not evaluate their faculty's performance merely according to their publications in international journals. Thank you.